Adding a teen driver can send your insurance bill way up. Next, the surprising new numbers and one way to help cut the cost. Keeping some money separate can actually work if both people are on the same page. Why experts say communication matters more than whether every dollar is shared. And don't let the big boom lead to a big loss for you. The Better Business Bureau has a warning for those of you interested in a piece of space that landed right in our backyard. Welcome to the Watchdog, where we protect consumers, share warnings and alerts, and help you save money. I'm Jen Pachano. Let's start with a local woman who lost nearly $200,000 in a scam. But Westlake police were able to catch the men they say are responsible in just 2 days. Keith Grant shows us how they made this arrest.
That's the moment Westlake police pulled over two scammers for stealing $200,000 in gold from a 78-year-old woman. But to understand how police got here, let's go back 7 months. Last August, a pop-up on her computer told her to call Apple support. Police say an imposter answered and convinced her she was caught up in a federal investigation. For 7 months, scammers posing as FBI agents had her hand over nearly $200,000 in gold to strangers at her front door.
These people actually had the audacity to show up in the city of Westlake and collect gold from our victim.
It was inside this North Olmsted coin shop that the 7-month scam finally started to unravel. An employee noticing the warning signs and pulling the woman aside.
What kind of hurry are you in here? And she's like, well, has to do with the FBI, and it has to, she's like, I can't say much more. And I was like, oh no, hon, it's a scam.
That conversation sent her straight to Westlake police Monday morning. Detectives moving quickly, sending the scammers this photo. Fake gold, enough to reel them in.
So our detectives just took her identity, basically. Okay. Made the scammers believe that she completed all this. We sent them pictures of the gold. We made them believe that she actually physically had real gold to give them again.
The two Pennsylvania men took the bait, showing up at her Westlake home to collect. Drone cameras tracked them from the moment they walked out.
We got the couriers. They are part of the whole organization. They're not the masterminds or anything like that.
The woman at the center of this, well, Westlake police say, unfortunately, her $200,000 is likely gone for good. Keith Grant, 19 News.
The Lorain County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about a phone scam where callers pretend to be law enforcement officials and demand immediate payment. Scammers use fake phone numbers and officers' real names to trick people into sending money or gift cards. Now, the Sheriff's Office advises residents to verify information with official sources and not to make payments over the phone. Now, law enforcement agencies, they don't demand payments or notify people of legal issues by phone. So residents should be cautious and report any suspicious calls to the Sheriff's Office. Well, did you feel or maybe hear the big boom recently across Northeast Ohio? It was a meteorite, and it dominated the headlines when it landed here, leaving behind valuable items from space. But the Better Business Bureau told our Dan DeRose expect scammers to try and take advantage of the situation.
The Better Business Bureau is always trying to put out little alerts, trying to give you a heads up that yeah, there could be a scam coming, and it should be no surprise that after Tuesday's big boom and the fireball and the meteorites, there could be some people trying to take advantage of the situation. I want to show you a post I found on eBay just today, and I want you to see this rock-looking item. It's already been viewed 104 times today. Now, I'm not an expert, and if you went on eBay, I'm assuming you're not a meteorite expert. I don't know what that is or what it looks like, but I want you to see the description, and I've blurted out the person's name because I don't know if this is a scam or not. But look at the wording: authentic meteorite fragment, space rock, rare, found in northeast of Ohio. Now that wording is very strange. Found in northeast of Ohio. Doesn't say found in northeast of Ohio. Sounds found in northeast of Ohio. That's a little sketchy to me. $50 or best offer. Now again, I'm not sure if this is real or not, and that's the message that the BBB has for you.
It's definitely cool what has occurred the past couple days and with the meteor that struck. But with that being said, obviously, do your due diligence. There's a lot of things that people are going to kind of charm now that we have seen something like this happen. And it's not like it happens every day, every year even. So people are definitely going to take advantage. And unfortunately, they're going to try and sell you some fake content.
Bottom line, you just have to be careful. Now, there are a number of experts at our wonderful universities all over our area that would be able to maybe give you some guidance. Now, if they're looking at this post, they're probably not going to be able to tell definitively because they need to see it, and that's part of the problem. When you see an online post where you don't get to see the actual rock or examine it, buyer beware. Dan DeRose, 19 News.
Visa is hoping to protect consumers' tax refunds and identities. They found dark web chatter tied to tax scams rose 62% in February versus January of just this year. Now, one of the most damaging trends this tax season involves fraudsters offering to file tax returns on behalf of consumers by posing as a professional. Scammers are also turning to AI to streamline operations and automate everything, including crafting realistic conversations with victims through bots. So tax scams, they now look more legitimate and are easier than ever to scale. Visa also shared an example straight from the dark web on how these scams are showing up. Take a look. To protect yourself, now be skeptical of unsolicited messages. The IRS, they don't initiate contact via email, text, or QR codes. Avoid anyone offering to file your taxes or speed up your refund. Pause before clicking links or scanning QR codes in unexpected tax-related communications. And when in doubt, verify directly through official IRS channels. Well, a new report from Bankrate finds more than half of American couples keep some of their money separate. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Rachel DePompa talks to an expert about how people are making this financial model work for their families.
Only 26% of couples keep their financial accounts completely separate these days. Ted Rossman with Bankrate says it's generational. The boomers are the biggest subscribers to this model. He says only 1 in 4 couples completely separate their finances, mostly Gen Zers. Gen X and millennials are the biggest believers in the yours, mine, and ours financial situation.
I believe there's actually a lot to like about this yours, mine, and ours thing because you work together on joint financial goals and obligations, but yet you also have some money that's yours and yours alone. That can be a good thing because people don't like the other person looking over their shoulder.
He says it often works well for people because you agree to certain dollar amounts together, but you also have some money left over for buying what you want. He says just make sure it's not a secret and that you keep up the communication.
When it's a secret, that's really a breach of trust. And that can really come back to undermine not just your finances, but even your more emotional kind of relationship. So don't keep secrets, but do talk about these things. If you want to keep some money separate and you and your spouse agree, that can actually be a healthy way to have some independence, but also still be working together on some joint goals and bills.
Rossman says it's not always fun to talk about money, but try your best to take the stigma and judgment out of the conversation. He also says set a timer, make it a quick conversation so you don't dread it. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
Up next on the Watchdog, a new teen driver in your household doesn't just add to your stress. No, it adds to your insurance costs too. We've got ways to help you make it work better for your budget. Welcome back to the Watchdog. Now it's time for the Ask the Scam Squad portion of our show. This is where we bring in a member of the Cuyahoga County Scam Squad, and they share with us some trending scams, real things that are happening to people in our community, reports that are coming into their office. So joining us today is Cheryl Harris. She is the Director of Consumer Affairs for Cuyahoga County. Welcome, Cheryl. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me about these investment scams and how they're both a relationship scam, but not like a romance scam is. What is an investment scam?
They're kind of their own animal. And so what typically happens is someone will be going online, being kind of investment curious, going to different sites to try to get information about investing and tips for investing. And they're befriended by someone online who seems very much like them, to have the same interests, et cetera.
Sure.
And
coincidentally, right?
Coincidentally.
Right.
And they just strike up a friendship. And it's not romantic, it's not flirting, it's just another person. The ones we've gotten lately, it's all guys who get contacts from other guys who are like-minded. So if they're a family person, this person is a family person. And after they strike up this chat, they feel them out about investments, and they say, hey, you should come to this chat I'm involved in over here. And
recruiting
a bunch of people, you know, are already here. They have great ideas on investing. So they go kind of together to this chat room where there are more people who are awful lot like you, just regular guys trying to invest. And one will finally say something, oh, does anyone know anything about this investment? And someone else who just seems like a regular guy will be saying, you know what, I made a fortune in that, I'm still making money. And the others all clamor in about, I'm going to do that, or I've done it, it's great. And so this new person feels like they've met, you know, just a group of friends,
like-minded people
who are who have experienced this investment and who have made money through it. So
what are they after, and what are these victims giving up? Is it money? Is it personal information? Is
it's
it both?
money.
It's money?
It's money.
What have you seen specifically from local victims?
So these are really high losses by the end of them, like $50,000, $100,000. They're huge losses.
Wow.
And how it starts is they recommend the investment. They suggest you invest through an app, and this app is showing your money increasing, right?
But it's all fake.
It's all fake. And then when you actually try to take your earnings out, you find you can't. And I just remember one guy who experienced this. He came back to the group and he said, I can't withdraw my money from this app. And the entire friend group just ghosted him. It was gone. Everybody gone, his money gone, his friends who had been friends with him for months. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's got that same kind of feeling as a romance scam where you think you have friends who are supportive of you.
Truly been fooled. You have the rug pulled out from underneath you, both emotionally and financially.
Exactly.
It can be very devastating, I'm sure.
Yeah, and really, like I said, these are some of the higher losses, individual losses that we're seeing, and they cause, you can imagine, such disruption for victims' families because that was money that they were jointly planning to do something, and they trusted their partner to grow the money.
Right, the ripple effect that it must have on things too.
Yeah.
And I imagine the same kind of scammers who are running romance scams probably are also running investment scams, because it's the same kind of courtship, if you will, and wooing and long game.
Right.
That they're playing all at the same time to a lot of people. So in terms of local victims and whatnot, what do you tell people who come to the Scam Squad's office and call that line, that number? What do you tell them to do?
Well, really what we'd like them to do is, in advance, first of all, don't return. This is a weird one, but don't return text messages from people that you don't know, because a lot of times there's wrong person texts. They're really trying to reach out. They sound like they're trying to reach out to someone else, and you say, who is this? Or I think this is a wrong text. And then they try to strike up a friendship with you and then sound you out and then drag you online with them. The other thing is, if you are going around online looking for investment tips, you are going to be drawing the attention of scammers. So before you invest, you need to do some research. There are some great resources on our website, cuyahogacounty.gov/scam squad, that can tell you how, to check out an investment. But maybe if you're going to put a lot of money in and it's not money you can afford to lose, maybe find a professional who can look over that investment for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because these apps, the apps are so realistic and they're so misleading. They just show your money growing. And we've heard from partners that in some cases, people tried to take a small amount of money out and they allowed them to do it to get
just
them
to give them that
invest
taste.
more.
You've seen that a lot
Yes.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
So do not answer wrong number texts
Right.
or wrong name texts. That's a really good takeaway because
Right.
that's a red flag right there.
Right.
There's no reason to.
No.
If you don't know this person, you don't owe them a reply.
Exactly.
Right? And then if you are going to invest, make sure that everything can be all online and all in apps these days. You can buy a car, you could buy, you can rent an apartment, all that stuff, but really do more homework than just that isolated app that this now scammer has sent you toward.
And don't trust that people are who they say they are or not connected. I mean, you can't see who these people are really. You can't tell
Right.
when you're dealing with someone online. So you almost have to do more research. And if you're not willing to do the research, then hire a professional and go put your
Right.
money that way.
Yeah.
They do it for you. But just be extra careful. Check out the app, check out the seller. And you shouldn't, if someone's suggesting an investment to you, you shouldn't be dealing through brokers and apps that all come from that same group.
Right. Think about the source, not that singular source. All right. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
You bet.
Now, if you have a question for one of the Scam Squad partner organizations, suspect you are being targeted, or maybe need some help navigating a scam you're in the middle of, email us at thewatchdog@woio.com. Adding a teen driver to your auto insurance can come with a major price jump. New data from Bankrate shows just how much premiums can rise for families. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Rachel DePompa breaks down the numbers and what parents can do to prepare.
It's a rite of passage. You turn 16, you learn to drive. But parents, listen up. According to data from Bankrate, the average rate for full coverage insurance for a 16-year-old on their parents' policy is $5,740 a year, a nearly $700 increase from the same time period in 2023. Shannon Martin with Bankrate says that means mom and dads have to find almost an extra $270 each month so that their teen can drive one of the cars on the policy.
So it used to be that, of course, you get a license when you're 16, but maybe we should stop and think about it and have those financial conversations with our children when they're 13. What does it mean to have a car? How can we help pay for a car? What if you get a ticket? If you put that in their mind at a young age, as it gets closer, those conversations of maybe you don't get your own car, maybe we have to wait for you to get your license, those become easier because they're aware of the finances around the responsibility of driving.
Martin says insurance companies also use driving behavior to help set rates. As an adult, they have a lot to pull from. A teen, though, is a blank slate.
They don't have any data to understand what kind of driver your teenager will be. So they have to look at crash test data that's broken up over age categories that groups teens into categories with other teens. And that data shows that teenagers are more likely to have accidents, and the accidents that they have are going to be more severe, which is why they cost so much to be added to a policy.
Martin says a new teen driver actually costs about $450 more per year than the average adult driver with a DUI on their record. She says shopping around for a new insurance policy can help you cut costs when you're adding a new teen driver. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
All right, still ahead, battery chargers are being recalled over burn and fire hazards. I'll tell you which ones are being pulled from shelves after doing nearly $250,000 in damage. Now to our recall roundup here on the Watchdog. Some chicken nuggets sold at Walmart may have lead. The USDA giving a lead warning for these Dino chicken nuggets. The 29-ounce Great Value brand bags have a best buy date of February 10th of next year. The USDA says these nuggets are no longer being sold, but could be sitting in freezers across the country. If you have any of them, don't eat them. Take the bag back to Walmart for a full refund. And battery chargers made by Who's Who Haitian Technology are being recalled because these chargers can ignite. Sold under the brand names HTRC and Hicito, the recalled chargers are black with a touch screen, and they were sold on websites like Amazon and eBay. The manufacturer has received 33 reports of fires and explosions, including 3 reports of burn and smoke inhalation, injuries, and 12 reports of property damage, totaling almost $250,000. So consumers should immediately stop using these recalled chargers and contact the maker for a full refund. Well, that's it for this episode of the Watchdog here on 19 News Plus. Every week, we bring you the latest scam alerts, fraud reports, recalls, and trending consumer news each Wednesday evening at 6:30. Now, if you want to watch previous Scam Squad stories, you can find them on cleveland19.com under the News tab. I'm Jen Pachano. Thanks, everybody, for watching.